discussing a brand new way to look at a fraternity. You need to forget about all the normal rules that apply to both college and society. We will give nothing back to the academic community, as well as provide no public service of any kind. Guys, this is a very special occasion. The Godfather himself, he sleeps 20 feet away.
Who's hungry? Who's hungry? Who's hungry?
Okay, ladies, our thumbs are down, our wrists are flexed, and we're gonna position ourselves for insertion.
The predictable result of letting a bunch of Hamas holes take over your campus is that they will begin to behave like Hamas holes. Protesters who have been camping out at Columbia University have now effectively smashed into the university and are now marauding through the university, taking hostages, which is on brand, gotta tell you, for these people. They're taking hostages in an academic hall. They've renamed an academic hall. How are these fundraising letters going, by the way? How do the fundraisers going? How does Columbia send out a fundraiser to anyone? Much less like a graduate who's a Christian or a Jewish person or a person of law and order or faith, and be like, hey, yeah, you should fund this. My take on this is very simple. Good. I know this will be clipped and taken out of context, but I say good. All right. So my take on this is you have invited this infestation. All right. You're the person who didn't do the treatments. You're the person who created this monster that left these little academic bubbles that have fomented anti-American hatred, anti-white hatred, anti-Israel hatred, anti-capitalist hatred. Tell us what you really want. We want the end of apartheid. No, you don't. Well, tell us what you really want. We want the end of capitalism. Okay, got it. What's your end goal? Communism. That's actually the goal, all right? They're just using this as a battering ram. They're just using this issue as a battering ram. Same with BLM. It's the same people. I don't have any tears for you. I don't actually cry, really, at anything, okay? The birth of my children is the only time that it's acceptable to cry as a man. That's it. Those are your acceptable. There are very, very short lists of acceptable times to cry as a man. The birth of your children is one of them. Watching It's a Wonderful Life is another one. And that's about it. Okay? That's about it. So I don't cry for these people. You're getting what you created. You're getting what you created. Producer Robbie says getting married. Producer Robbie's getting married this weekend. So we'll see. We'll find out. We'll find out, Robbie. And we will post an update on Monday's show to see if you getting married is an acceptable time to cry. I'll take the photo. I'm in the groomsmen party, so we'll take the photo and we'll find out. The election of Donald Trump in 2024, ALX says, is an acceptable time for men to cry. Are there other acceptable time for men to cry? Let me know in the comment section. Producer Robbie is here. He may or may not cry at his wedding. He is getting married this weekend. Producer Robbie may or may not cry at his wedding. We'll have an update for you. But let me know in the comment section as we go through this next story if you can come up with other acceptable times to cry. Danny D. Urbina says my golf swing. Yes, actually, that is sanctioned. That is sanctioned. It is acceptable to cry when you watch Danny try to hit a golf ball. If you haven't checked out our new documentary on Donald Trump's remarkable property, Trump Doral, his golf empire, you totally should. All right, so here we go. There is obviously the Frankenstein, the Frankenstein syndrome that is at play here, right? So that's what's going on. It's just the Frankenstein paradox. Let's call it the Frankenstein paradox. Here it is. You create the monster, and I'm not sad when that monster comes after you. I'm not sad when that monster, you lose control of the monster and it goes and attacks the town and then it attacks you. These leftists are turning on their own institutions. They're burning down their own colleges, the colleges that radicalize them. Dr. Frankenstein created the monster, and then the monster destroys his laboratory and destroys Dr. Frankenstein. That's how it works, idiots. You dumb jackasses. So here's what Columbia looks like today.
They have now stormed an academic building, have occupied it, have barricaded themselves inside of that academic building. They want promise from the university that they won't be punished at all. Those are their three demands, and they promise to now have Hamilton Hall theirs until those demands are met. I will say they have now renamed Hamilton Hall, according to the protesters. It's now called Heinz Hall. That is in honor of the name of a 6-year-old Palestinian girl named Hind Rahab, who was reportedly who was killed in Gaza on January 29th during military operations there from Israel. So that is what they have now renamed Hamilton Hall here at the campus. But as you can see, again, the NYPD here they're here. They haven't been called in by the university. It appears they're just on standby, and there have been no plans, from what we understand, for them to go in. They have not received, as of the last hour, instructions from Columbia to go in or do anything.
So let me just like make something very clear here to anybody who has any fond memories of the Summer of Love BLM. Smashing, destroying private property is not free speech. Criminal behavior is not free speech. Behaving like a jackal isn't free speech. Behaving like a jackass isn't free speech. These are not free speech issues. When you're smashing into buildings and occupying them and taking people hostage, that's not free speech. That's criminal activity. And you should get some of the police responses that have been happening across the country. Like, for instance, ladies and gentlemen, here's what happened in Georgia. Georgia's a fine state. Are you from Georgia? Georgia's a fine state. Fine football legacies in Georgia. Are you from Georgia? Did you play football? Georgia has a very fine football team. Okay? Many say that the Georgia Bulldogs college team could beat many NFL teams. I don't know. It'd be fun to watch. But it seems like if you don't make the NFL in Georgia, you can just go to the state troopers and you'll have a great career still tackling people. Here we go. All right, so then he's got him. Okay, it's tackle, perfect form tackle. He's down. The Hamas hole has been shouting and yelling, and it looks like this young man who didn't have a father is getting daddy owned. Say hello to daddy, you salty lid. There we go. Perfect. We should do this more often, actually. This is we should do NFL color commentary. So there are big clashes with police all over the country. These people are replacing American flags with Palestinian flags. They are grotesque, but really it's important to note they don't have any real aggrievement. These people don't know what the hell they're talking about. They just hate America. They hate white people. They hate colonialism, which really is just capitalism in America, right? They hate like our culture, and they want to see it destroyed. They're miserable people, and we're really glad that the police are getting rid of the illegal encampments. Here's what it looked like at VCU over the weekend. Yeah, okay. All right, ladies and gentlemen. We do have some very interesting reporting out from this morning where, thank God, at this University of Florida, the police have begun arresting various members of this group, and they look exactly as you would have expected. I saw the mugshots posted early this morning, and you're gonna absolutely love these mugshots. These are the mugshots of the people that were arrested in Florida. This is, again, it's straight out of Central Casting. Let's click on the mugshot, and then we do sort of there you go. Okay, great. Perfect. Look at the dead eyes. Look at the lack of purpose. This is what happens when your country loses religion, man. Look at the mullet. I gotta respect that mullet. Let's keep scrolling. Okay, here's the next ones. Okay. This is like an advertisement for not sending your kids to public school. This is an advertisement for homeschooling your children. Your children won't look like this if they're homeschooled. Okay? They won't look like this if they're... This is an advertisement against the system. This is what the system actually does to your children. Let's see. I think we got one more here in the thread. There you go. Here we go. The image of fatherlessness. The image of parents, show up for your kids. Okay? Just show up for your kids. You don't want to be in a nursing home someday with your kid arrested and you realizing that the most important job you ever had in the world was actually just showing up for your children. It's not even hard. You just be there. I was rushing out the door today. We had a busy day at work here, and my girls wanted me to read them a story, a Dr. Seuss book. I read them the Starbelly Sneetches. Okay, we just stop. We sit down on the front. I'm literally on my way out to work. Stop, sit down on the front porch, and we read the Starbelly Sneetches. People walking by are like, "What the hell is wrong with that guy?" Don't care. Don't care. And guess what I got out of it? I got a flower. Okay, it's literally sitting on my desk here. My 3-year-old picked this flower for me, and this is for you, Eloise. And she put it in my ear. There you go. Like, that's what she does. Is this an acceptable time for men to cry? No, it is not. But men can accept gifts from their beautiful little 3-year-old daughters. So this was Eloise. She picked this out of the planter in front of the house. So then it sits in front of me as I do the show, and as we rant and rave, and it reminds me to be a good dad, show up for my children. These are simple things in life, and it prevents them from being in mugshots like you just saw. Purposelessness is the corrupting vector of Satan. Okay, people say idle hands. There's another way of saying it. If you don't fill that void as a parent, someone or something, demon, will, some ideology, some sick type of like refuse will enter that void that should be there for a father and mother and should be there to protect your children and to give them like the anchoring that they need. And something will come and corrupt that. And your kids may, I hope not, but may end up in this lineup of miscreants, goofballs, losers, and lunatics who were arrested. Their mugshots now splattered all over the internet in Florida. Straight out of Central Casting. Don't do that. The most important job you will ever have. Go home early today. Spend time with your kids. Spend time with your kids. Spend time with your kids. That's how we save this place, ladies and gentlemen. That is how we save this place. Elon Musk has lots of kids. Elon Musk has lots of kids. George Soros has been proven to be the funder of many of these protests. Soros and other elites are funding the campus agitators and anti-Israel protests on college campuses. This has now been proven, so now we can, sort of say it with verve. Just a reminder of how Elon Musk views George Soros, in case you wonder who's fighting the good fight here, who's on whose side. George Soros is an inhuman monster. That's been proven time and time again in his life. You can look at some of his earliest interviews, or you can look at his visit to Haiti with Hillary Clinton and wonder what was going on there. Yeah, really makes you wonder. George Soros hates humanity. Elon Musk, take it away.
I mean, Soros actually, he is, I believe, the top contributor to the Democratic Party. The second one was Sam Bankman-Fried. Yeah. So, and Soros, I don't know. I mean, he had a very difficult upbringing. And in my opinion, he fundamentally hates humanity. That's my opinion.
Really?
Yeah. I mean, well, he's doing things that erode the fabric of civilization. Getting DAs elected who refuse to prosecute crime. So he's good at spotting, basically arbitrage, like spotting value for money that other people don't see. So one of the things he noticed was that that the value for money in local races is much higher than it is in national races. So the lowest value for money is a presidential race. Then next lowest value for money is a Senate race, then a Congress, and but once you get to sort of city and state district attorneys, the value for money is extremely good. And Soros realized that you don't actually need to change the laws, you just need to change how they're enforced.
So smart. It's so smart. You don't need to change the laws. You just need to change how they're enforced. It's happened here. It will make me forever appreciative. Donald Trump's my man, but it'll make me forever appreciative of the governor of Florida, because he's ripped these Soros prosecutors out of Tampa, out of Orlando. He said, nope, sorry, I'm the authority here. Respect my authority. And Ron DeSantis, shaped just like a little Cartman, comes through and just removes these guys. And they scream, they bitch, and they moan, and they demon scream about it, and they can't do anything. This man is uniquely evil. And purposelessness is something that is, again, the corrupting vector of dark forces on our earth. Okay, dark forces, purposelessness. That's what you see here in this remarkable clip. There was an interview with a protester. You know, the people smashing the buildings, right, and going in and storming into the Ivy League. There's this interview with this protester where they're smashing things up, they're screaming, they're raging, and you get the microphone, right? I'm not gonna use this microphone. You get the microphone. Okay, we've done a million men on the street. Okay, so what are you angry about? What are you protesting? What are you protesting? Tell us. Okay? And here was the answer. It's remarkable. Purposelessness. Okay? Watch.
And what would you say is the main goal with tonight's protest?
I think the goal is just showing our support for Palestine and demanding that NYU stops. I honestly don't know all of what NYU's doing.
Is there something that NYU's doing?
I really don't know. I'm pretty sure do you know what NYU's doing? About what? About Israel. Why are we protesting here?
Palestine will be free!
I wish I was more educated. I'm not either.
Oh.
I came from Columbia. I was there up at Columbia, and we came down. They said NYU students needed our support. So I came down. I heard there's lots of cops. Some people were saying it was getting dangerous.
Why are we protesting? What are we doing? I don't know. What are they? There was cops, and people were yelling, and injustice, and we had churros, and it was very good. Okay, and they were vegan churros, and I ate them. So whatever. I don't know. Who even are these people? Who are they? They no purpose. They have no purpose. They have nothing that connects them to the real world, to eternity, to the spiritual world. They are we call them orcs. And they're orcs. It's mindless, brainless. I don't know, birthed from the ground, in the Sauron pit. They're just orcs. Find purpose in life, man. Find Jesus. The hilarity, of course, is what happens when libs try. So libs have lost the plot on these protests, and now they want them destroyed. Okay, so the police are allowed to go in and break up these protests when there is a political push for this. When the professional organizers, when the real professional goblins have backed a protest like they did in the Summer of Love in 2020, the media is sent in effectively to whitewash the whole thing. And that is exactly what happened during the BLM protests. Producer ALX with a great throwback here. The Summer of Love.
I want to be clear in how I characterize this. This is mostly a protest. It is not generally speaking unruly, but fires have been started, and there's a crowd that.
Okay, so it's mostly peaceful. Okay, this is mostly peaceful. He says, buildings are burning behind you, bro. They're burning behind you. It's amazing what happens when the narrative actually collapses.